Sorry about the crown. Still tastes the same. Yes, it's just crumbs in the middle.
Well, I need something to watch on.
Where's your iPad?
I think we forgot it. What I've been using this is...
Well, use the TV for now. But keep the sound down, okay?
Keep the sound all the way up, got it.
Yes, all the way up to the max.
Okay.
Oh.
YouTube.
Okay, good night.
Hey.
Go to bed soon, okay? Don't keep Adrian up.
I won't.
Come on, Holly dog. Come on, it's bedtime.
Oh my god, the internet's strangest websites part 2. And Adrian, are you whatever?
Noob Saibot will return in Mortal Kombat 1, according to my comment section. Apparently he got leaked or something, but here's the thing. I don't cover leaks on this channel. Plus, how would Noob Saibot even exist in Mortal Kombat 1? Bi-Han is still alive last time I checked. And I seriously doubt that NetherRealm is going to kill him off screen simply to justify Noob Saibot being DLC. So if Noob Saibot does return, does that mean he's going to be an entirely new character? Or will he be sucked in from a different timeline? Honestly, this question is such an
I'd like to be
interesting
sucked
topic.
in by
How
a different
could Noob Saibot
timeline.
return in Mortal Kombat 1? There's actually several possibilities that would all make sense. So today, we're going to talk about it. Before getting started, make sure to post your Noob Saibot theories in the comments below and allow a quick word from today's sponsor. Hey, I've got some exciting news. Today's video sponsor is DraftKings, an official partner of the NFL, wants to bring you an awesome deal. If you're new to DraftKings, then listen up. When you bet just $5 as a new customer, you instantly get $150 in bonus bets. That's right, just bet $5 and then boom, $150 in bonus bets. If you want to take advantage
Yeah, I
of this
totally
special
trust
offer,
that.
download
Gamble.
the DraftKings
Go.
Sportsbook app and then sign up with my special
Why
promo
not?
code TUD Gaming. And for all my fellow bettors already in the DraftKings World. Check this out. You've got the no sweat bet offer. Place your same game parlay or SGPX bet, and if it doesn't hit, no worries. You get a bonus bet back with max reward limits, of course. Then combine those bets for a chance to win an even bigger win. And hey, if sports betting isn't available in your state yet, you can still dive into the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use my promo code TUDGaming, bet your $5, and then snatch those $150 in bonus bets. Remember, that's promo code TUDGaming with DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't wait one more second to get in on the action now. Alright, and here we go. How will Noob Saibot return in Mortal Kombat 1? I've come up with 4 different theories. And as mentioned earlier, all these possibilities do make a bizarre amount of sense. So without any further ado, let's get started. Theory number 1, different timelines. Believe it or not, Noob Saibot has already interacted with Mortal Kombat 1 Scorpion in the new mobile game Mortal Kombat Onslaught. And the conversation between the two is quite funny. Scorpion is wondering how his brother died, and Noob Saibot is wondering why his brother is wearing yellow. And I'm not joking, that's his number 1 concern. Why are you wearing the Shirai Ryu colors? Which is kind of funny, because Scorpion was already wearing that color before he defected from the Lin Kuei and formed the Shirai Ryu on his own. And because Kuai Liang is a good younger brother, his main concern is, why is my brother a zombie? How did this happen? I'm creeped out. And of course, because it is a Mortal Kombat game, the two fight almost immediately, and Scorpion is the victor, because he's the good guy. And even though I doubt this interaction is canon at all, it does prove that NetherRealm is still messing around with multiverse shenanigans. And as a result, it could be very possible that Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat 1 is simply from a different timeline. That's all NetherRealm needs to justify his existence. Because let's be real, at the end of the day, Noob Saibot is a fan-favorite character, so any excuse you have to get him in the game is a valid one. Next up, we have theory number 2. Bi-Han dies in the story mode DLC. This possibility is very obvious, though I hope sincerely that NetherRealm does not take this route, because Bi-Han has already been dead in most games, and having him stay alive is a fresh new idea that I want to see explored. But I digress. In case you're not aware, Ed Boon did already confirm that story mode is going to get a part 2 in Mortal Kombat 1. There's going to be a story mode expansion as DLC. And then on top of that, he did say there'd be a huge twist reveal, which could be the return of Noob Saibot, possibly by killing Bi-Han. Even though Mortal Kombat 1 is doing a lot of new stuff, they're also retreading a lot of familiar ground. So it could be possible they just kill Bi-Han all over again to bring back Noob Saibot. Once again, I really hope they don't do this, because having Bi-Han stay alive is a super interesting thing that's never been done in any Mortal Kombat game. In fact, if Bi-Han does anything in the new story mode, it should be winning and dominating a ton. I want to see what it looks like for the villain to finally start winning, mainly Bi-Han, because once again, he's never been allowed to do much of anything in a majority of the Mortal Kombat games. So just for once, I want to see what happens when Bi-Han succeeds while still alive. I know most of you watching have never played Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, but in that game, Bi-Han is actually really cool and has great character development, and I want to see that come back. In fact, give him a new adventure with Serena. Have her and him do something cool in the story mode DLC. That would be incredible. But alright, it's time for theory number 3. Noob Saibot is actually Scorpion this time, or Kuai Liang. This theory might be the craziest, but don't forget that Mortal Kombat 1 is a new era where anything can happen. In fact, it's pretty obvious that the only reason the writers and developers at NetherRealm Studios reset the Mortal Kombat timeline was to try completely new ideas. For example, Tanya is a good guy now. Katana and Melina are sisters. Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers. You get the idea. New era means a bunch of new possibilities. Also, Natara is evil for some reason, but you get my point. The new era, the new reset has a bunch of new possibilities, and NetherRealm is clearly trying new things. So it could be possible that this time Kuai Liang dies instead of Bi-Han, and then gets converted into the Wraith we know as Noob Saibot. If you think there's no chance of that happening, don't forget the arcade ending where Hanzo Hasashi shows up. It is very possible that Kuai Liang could be killed off to become Noob Saibot, and then get replaced by Hanzo Hasashi, who becomes the new Scorpion, or technically the original Scorpion, just a kid. Time travel is weird, man, so is multiverse theory. If any of you watching are aspiring writers, my advice is to never do time travel because you get wonky, goofy stuff like this. But once again, I digress. I hate the thought of Kuai Liang dying or Scorpion dying because he is the good guy, but I also don't think it's off the table and certainly could happen because don't forget all the crazy stuff that NetherRealm Studios has already done, both the good and the bad. Killing Scorpion could definitely happen to make room for Noob Saibot. Alright, and now finally, it's time for theory number 4. Noob Saibot is a brand new character. Or at the very least, he's not a main character. Allow me to explain. Instead of killing off an existing character in Mortal Kombat 1 and possibly upsetting the fanbase of that character, NetherRealm simply makes a brand new character into Noob Saibot. This is, without a doubt, the safest way to bring the character back as DLC without upsetting anybody, so it's definitely a possibility of what NetherRealm can do. As mentioned earlier, both Scorpion and Sub-Zero have tons of potential in this new timeline, so killing them off could be an absolute waste. They did kill off Smoke though. That actually could happen. I just thought of this, it's not in my notes, and I'm scared at the possibility of it happening. They might just kill off Smoke and make him Noob Saibot. But okay, back on track. Noob Saibot is a brand new character. How could NetherRealm do this? How could it be done? Well, maybe he's a dead member of the Lin Kuei who gets corrupted by Quan Chi. That way, he's still very similar to Sub-Zero since he was working for the Lin Kuei. The revenge motivation is still there as well, and because Quan Chi is already in Mortal Kombat 1, both a story and a playable character as DLC, he definitely could be responsible for creating Noob Saibot yet again, only this time it's a different Lin Kuei member. Or in fact, it's very likely that Noob Saibot could be Bi-Han's father, the former Grand Master of the Lin Kuei. I just thought about this and it's not on my notes, but how perfect would that be? We already know that Bi-Han allowed his father to die, so the revenge aspect is there, and on top of that, the idea of Noob Saibot being a Grand Master of the Lin Kuei sounds new and refreshing, because keep in mind, Noob Saibot has always been a villain that simply became more evil. So how much cooler would it be if instead he was a former hero that got corrupted by the darkness but still has the right intentions in mind? The idea of Noob Saibot trying to regain control of the Lin Kuei, even if it requires using evil means, it sounds super interesting to me. Plus, how cool would it be for Bi-Han having to confront the father he left to die and fight him in Mortal Kombat? That sounds so cool to me. Or for possibility number 2, maybe Noob Saibot is just a random victim who died during a war. He was a bystander not involved in the conflict but still got caught in the crossfire and died anyway. Once again, the revenge motive is definitely there, so this could work for Noob Saibot. And honestly, NetherRealm could just never explain Noob Saibot's appearance. He could have a completely unknown backstory that never gets explained, and Noob Saibot is forever missing. I definitely enjoy that. As you can already tell, the possibilities are endless for this theory, right? If Noob Saibot is a brand new character, NetherRealm could do pretty much anything with this origin. And honestly, if they did go that route, I don't think many fans would be upset, because at the end of the day, it's the gameplay that we love Noob Saibot for. Long before he even got a backstory, fans still loved him. Or maybe that's just me projecting my opinions, right? For me personally, gameplay always comes first, so even though Havoc's backstory and personality are completely wrong in Mortal Kombat 1, it doesn't really bother me that much because his gameplay is incredible and he's extremely fun to play with. But as you all know, I love making these videos interactive, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you think Noob Saibot is going to return in Mortal Kombat 1? Do you think his origin is going to be the exact same? Is NetherRealm going to kill off a different character? Or is Noob Saibot going to be a completely new character instead? Or will the writers get extremely easy and just pull Noob Saibot from a different, similar to the climactic ending of story mode? Like I keep saying, and nobody will me, I truly do read each and every comment, so grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. For me personally, I think I'm going to be happy no matter what. I just want Noob Saibot to return in Mortal Kombat 1 and have fantastic gameplay. As long as that requirement is met, I don't think I'm going to care much if his origin is changed a little bit. Thank you so much to everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.
Make sure it's fully in.
When you're a kid, everything has a happy ending. The Ninja Turtles always defeat Shredder. King Koopa always loses to Mario. You never leave a Disney movie feeling horrible because good always triumphs over evil. That's not to say that bad things don't happen, of course. Characters can die, our heroes can stumble, and reach their lowest point. But I never left The Lion King thinking, wow, I can't believe Scar won. Despite the horrible tragedy, the bad guy still gets his comeuppance, and Simba restores the Pride Land to their former glory. And this isn't something to be shocked about. Nobody wants to be depressed. We all crave that feel-good finale that teaches us how goodness is rewarded. A lot of these stories are morality tales, and I think even adults don't want to be reminded of how unfair life can be. But there is something to that. Sometimes it's interesting to see how one character's desire can lead them to ruin. To be confronted with the worst case scenario. And I got to feel my first slice of that when I watched the children's horror show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Children aren't allowed to watch your Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street because of the sex and violence. It's far too extreme, so shows like this and Goosebumps were fantastic. It was a great opportunity for kids to see some unsettling material that kept their minds racing at night. Yeah, it was cheesy, but every now and then, something would stick with you. I vividly remember The Tale of the Chameleons, which really should be called The Tale of the Iguanas, but regardless. In this episode, an innocent girl named Janice manages to cross paths with an evil chameleon that has the power to transform into anyone that they fight twice. It's a goofy premise that starred Tia and Tamara Mowry, the twin sisters from the TV show Sister Sister. Another part of this curse is that anyone who gets bitten twice by this lizard is now susceptible to becoming one themselves. If they touch a body of water, they will take the chameleon's place. Which is exactly what happens when the evil girl pushes Janice into the shower. Oh god, how horrifying. Janice's best friend Sharon is the only one noticing how strange her buddy has become. Not only has she bought a box of lizards, but now she's eating goldfish raw. What the hell? Long story short, Sharon manages to trick the chameleon into getting bitten by Janice, which returns the girl back to normal. But uh-oh, they look exactly the same. And uh-oh, they're fighting and spinning around, and now you can't tell which is which.
I don't know which one is you! Wait! I can prove that I'm the real Janice! Only the real Janice would do this! No, it's a trick!
And so Sharon blasts away, confident in her target, because the real Janice would have no problem throwing those lizards into the well. It seems like all's well that ends well, but then we get one more scene.
I'm sorry I had to do that. I think you find the button. Oh, I see we left our little friend down there. I hope she knows how to swim.
I know this show must seem cheesy, and it is, but even still, when I was 8 years old, this fucked me up. I was not expecting that ending, and I actually had trouble sleeping that night, thinking about how horrible the outcome was.
Did you get
And
the
it got
plate
even
okay?
worse when the show returned to TV as
I
a
got that on the
rerun.
It
outside.
looked just
Don't
like
burn
me. It
yourself.
was me.
You
Sharon,
okay?
I think the chameleon wants to
Did
be.
you burn your hand?
Like, Janice didn't deserve this. She wasn't a selfish
Are your
brat who
nuggets
made
done?
bad choices. She was nice to
yeah,
her friend, and she had a loving family. And what happened
Okay,
to
if you
her
don't
was
finish them, put them
completely
in the refrigerator,
unfair.
okay?
And that's really what
Not
makes
the
it so
freezer, but the
unsettling.
refrigerator.
On a second
Okay.
watch, you know how it's going to end, and it hits really hard. I just look at the transformation sequence and the horror on her face. Her worst fear came true at the hands of her best friend. I couldn't imagine what she was thinking before being sent to her ultimate demise. Are You Afraid of the Dark had plenty of happy endings, and so this one stuck out for being devoid of any hope. You always wish you could jump through the screen and tell Sharon that she's making a mistake. But unfortunately, TV shows only have one ending, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But video games? Now that's a different story. Being an interactive medium, it is entirely on the player to ensure the happy ending. Oh sure, Mario's always going to save the day in the cartoon, but in the games themselves, we have to help him do it. And if we're not good enough,
You're dead. The princess is gonna be raped.
that's a halo above his head. Mario is dead. Video games have always been about challenge, and game overs are a major part of that. And in the old days, all we usually got was a simple title card. But every now and then, you get something fun, like when you die in Zelda 2, and it informs you that Ganon has returned. Why is that scream so effective? But anyway, as video games evolved and started having deeper narratives, the fail state of these adventures changed as well. I remember the first time I played Banjo-Kazooie for the Nintendo 64. The premise of this game is that an evil witch named Gruntilda wants to be the most beautiful person in the land. Unfortunately, she's a grotesque, disgusting creature, especially when compared to Tooty, the adorable bear cub. So the witch decides to kidnap the innocent little girl so that she can place her inside of a machine that will steal and transfer her beauty. This attracts the attention of Tooty's brother Banjo, who rushes off to save his sister alongside his feathered friend Kazooie. And look, you all know about this game. It's a colorful collectathon platformer with happy music and a dry wit. It's a game for all ages to enjoy, a pleasant romp not so dissimilar from Mario 64. And while yes, you will ultimately take on Grunty and save your sister, Rare decided to go the extra mile for the game over sequence. Because if you lose all your lives, or you just decide to save and quit, there's actually a special cutscene. One where the beauty-sucking machine has reached full power and is now ready to go. Wait, what? For laughs, what with Mumbo asking Grunty out on a date even though he's supposed to be one of your trusted allies. But even still, when I was 10 years old, it gave me the willies. I wasn't expecting to see the consequences of my failure, to see Tooty robbed of her innocence despite not doing anything wrong. That we actually get to see her as a grotesque monster just does things to my brain. I've always been fascinated by bad endings. It's one thing to imagine something going wrong, but to actually see and experience it is something else entirely. I didn't picture Rebecca Chambers screaming like this. Jesus Christ! Rebecca! That poor girl got her head chopped off. And now Chris is escaping the mansion on his own because all of his friends are dead. Good Lord. There's not a lot of mediums that'll just take happy-go-lucky characters and put them in the worst possible scenarios. At least Resident Evil is horror-themed, but why is there an ending where Super Mario drops dead as the world gets covered in overwhelming darkness? I don't know, but I can't look away. So today, I thought it would be fun to peer into an alternate universe where everything goes wrong. Abandon your hopes and dreams because we're going to Sad Boy City to reminisce about some of gaming's most memorable tragedies. Which of course means this video will have lots of spoilers. Listed in the description are timestamps for every game that I'm going to cover. So if you don't want to know how Persona 3 can potentially end, at least you'll know when I moved on to the next subject. But if you're still down for all this, then welcome. I am the Great Clement, and I'm here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff. So let's start with something relevant. Pikmin,
The fourth entry of this fantastic Nintendo franchise has just hit the Nintendo Switch, and it's relatively easy going because it doesn't have a time limit to worry about, which you cannot say about the 2001 original. The premise of Pikmin is that an astronaut named Captain Olimar accidentally runs into an asteroid and crash lands on a mysterious planet. There, he discovers plant-like creatures known as Pikmin. These guys are all too willing to help you recover the parts of your spaceship that have been scattered all over with the crash landing. Unfortunately, Olimar cannot breathe on this planet, and if he can't repair his ride in the next 30 days, his life support will go out and he will die. This is an actual time limit for the player, who must gather everything as quickly as possible. Now this game is already kind of unsettling from the very beginning. Since you pluck out hundreds of these little guys, they're very weak and susceptible to nature's elements. They can get eaten, they can drown, they can get crushed, and every time one of them die, they leave behind a ghost as well as a sad little cry. This is a dog-eat-dog world where you gotta kill a whole bunch of ladybugs in order to survive. This whole time, Olimar is writing in his diary about the struggles of getting off this planet, how he longs to return to his wife and 2 kids, who are no doubt worried over his disappearance. The days go on and Olimar starts losing weight rapidly because of the lack of food. The stress of wanting to escape is making his hair fall out. It's not an easy fix, and for some players, they won't have enough time. So on the final day, if you haven't acquired at least 25 parts, Olimar tries to take off anyway. And well... Olimar's life support runs out, and so he succumbs to the poisonous atmosphere and dies. Later, the Pikmin find his corpse and do what they've always been doing, and drag him to their onion. And it seems that maybe Olimar has been reborn as a Pikmin himself. But even so, who's gonna pluck him out? Whether he's achieved rebirth or not, he's still stranded on this lonely planet. His co-workers, his family, no one will ever know what really happened. It's amazing and quite sad how someone can just disappear off the face of the galaxy. But hey, Pikmin is far from the darkest thing in Nintendo, because oh boy, there's The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Being a sequel to Ocarina of Time, Link leaves Hyrule and finds himself in a strange new land